Alright, hi everybody. Back to keep working on this telly. Before, did a lot of things. Got the neck on, got the bridge on. Got everything in place right now. So what I'm going to do is work on the soldering of the wires and everything to make sure this thing will play. Alright, so we'll bring you a little bit closer. Hopefully everybody can see what's going on. The pickguard, the control plate, and the cable plug, none of it's set up, none of it's screwed down yet, so I figured what I would do is do the soldering. So all you have is the cables going into the control plate here. So all we need to do is figure out how we need to solder this thing up to make it work. So we have a black and yellow coming from that, and then we'll have the bridge wires, which I guess I'm going to have to take and loosen back up because I have to get the wires to reach. So it looks like the diagram that came with the pickups is for just a regular three-way Telecaster, just for a three-way Telecaster pickup setup. So we want the setup for the noiseless, so I got online, checked on my phone, and I got a diagram for that, the vintage noiseless pickups, so I'm going to have to go by that. And yeah, so there's a couple different things with that. This control plate, this capacitor, looks like it needs to be hooked up to the ground over here. And then you got the ground for this pickup, the ground for this pickup. It's supposed to go here. And then you have the yellow, One yellow goes to the switch. Well, actually, looks like both yellows go to the switch. One on this side and one on this side. So other than that, I think that's the only difference. Everything else looks the same. This switch for, or the not the switch, the plug-in for your cord looks to be fine where it's at. I mean, it actually shows that the ground should be over here where the switch is. So I'm not exactly sure how this is gonna go. So I'm just gonna do it and make sure everything follow this diagram that I have on my phone and go from there. So yeah, let's do that. So we got the soldering iron here set up. We got some flux. Well, I don't even know if this is flux core. Doesn't look like flux core. So we'll probably use a little bit of flux I got sitting here just in case. So yeah, let's, I guess, start with this switch here, or the control plate before I do anything. Should probably fix that. So according to this, you have a ground on here, which they're saying the ground's not hooked up. The ground's supposed to be hooked up here. I don't know if that matters if these are switched or not, because I don't know if you can see that, but this ground and these white ones, I don't know if that's hurting anything to be where they're at. Maybe that's going to determine whether or not the front pickup and the back pickup are correct. So yeah, I have to study this diagram a little bit better. I'll be back. Okay, it doesn't look like it's going to take much to do this. It looks like I just have to move a couple things around. The switch here for the jack looks like this. The black ground side needs to go to the tone pot, so we need to take that off, put it to the tone pot before we do anything, and then switch this capacitor, take it off of the tone pot, and hook it up to the volume over onto this side where it's actually switched on, where the ground switched to right now. So we need to take the ground from the plug switch, put it to the tone pot, and then switch this capacitor from here, keep it where it's at there, but connect it to that spot. So we're going to do that first. So let's try to do this without burning yourself. So we don't need any solder at this point, I don't believe. I just need to disconnect this spot here. So we'll heat this up until I can release it. Come on, baby. Come on off of there. Alright, let's try to release this first. Alright, so we got that ground wire off. We can set that aside for now. See if we can get this one back off. It's in there pretty good. I don't know if they tied that up in there or what, but it's getting awfully hot and it's not coming off. Which is very crazy. I don't know what's happening here. Oh, it looks like it actually goes through. Okay, I see. So the wire itself goes a whole way through the pot hook, or the pot eye, and all the way to the pot itself. So I might have to heat it up and use a screwdriver to pry it apart a little bit so it doesn't stick. So get it off of there first before we can get it out of the eye. There we go. Alright, got it off the pot. Let's get it out of the eye here. Alright, so we got it unhooked from the volume pot. I'm hoping you can see this. If you bring it a little bit closer here. Alright, so basically what I did, this was the volume pot. I had taken this wire off of the volume pot. It went through the eye to the pot itself here, and then this wire was connected to the pot here. So I took that off as well. So what they're saying, according to the diagram, we have to release this capacitor off of the tone pot here. So let's do that. So we'll heat this up, get that unhooked here. So release that. And I'm going to release it from down here so I can actually turn it around a little bit nicer. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this type of situation. So we need to connect it like so, across this ways. So put it back where it was at. Let me check this diagram again here, but yes, you go from the center to the outer portion here. So we might be able to just stick that right back in there. Not too much of an issue. Let that cool sec. And then we'll bend that up to connect it to here. Now this can be bent, and actually looks like it should be bent and touching the pot. So maybe if I take that through like so, like the other one was, where it was, the wire actually went through the eye, and we'll have to see if it'll stretch that far. I don't know. It looks like it just will. But before I do that, I might have to take these needle nose pliers, try to get this a little closer. I've never done this before, so this is all new. I'm just going by the diagram. I mean, I've done some wiring here and there on some things before, so I have soldered before. I'll try to do this so you can see. So what I'm going to try to do is take this now through the eye, if I can, because that didn't give me much to play with here. So let's see what we can do. So we're going to go through this eye like so, which didn't work so good. And hopefully I did not just snap that off of the capacitor. I don't want to break that out of the capacitor there. Well, anyway, we might just leave that right where it's at. And when I go to connect, because that's connected right now, I don't want to take that off. So what we'll do is check the diagram here again. Yep. Alright, so what we're going to do is just put this wire here, which is the wire to the jack. And we're going to connect it here where the capacitor was connected before. Alright, so we got that on. Got this connected. This wire looks fine. This wire looks fine. These two wires are fine, so we're going to have to hook up a yellow one to, it looks to be this one here. Skip that one, you skip this one, and then the other yellow goes here for the back pickup. So we need to hook up yellow here for the front pickup, yellow here for the back pickup. So if this is the switch, so what you have is this wire is connected here, it's connected here, it crosses over, connects here, and connects here, and this wire comes down to here. So for the switch, we need to hook up front pickup yellow here, rear pickup yellow here. So we got this hooked up, we got the jack plate, or the jack ground hooked up, and so far so good. It looks like all we have to do is connect ground here to both pickups. Need to be ground right here. So both pickups need to be ground right here, yellow wire here for the back, front, and that should do it. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so we have extra wire here which might not need the switchback wire. Yeah, so let me release the bridge and we'll do that. Alright, so I got the bridge released, unscrewed. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take the bridge, sit it here, if I can, sit it there. Alright, so this other ground wire that I took off is actually going to work out good. I'll be able to reuse this. So we're going to take, since I don't believe that this wire that I'm using has any flux to it, we need to solder these two pieces together. So let's see if we can take a little bit of this solder here See if I can tin the doesn't look like that wants to work too good, but maybe that's not how I should be doing it. So what we'll do is we're just going to, I'm going to wrap this wire around this one, like so. I don't know if you can see that. But we're going to take a little bit of solder and solder those two pieces together. That should be plenty. That should do the trick. Oh yeah. That's plenty good on there. Alright, so we're going to have to take these two wires, take them through, but before that I'm going to have to tape this one up a little. Put some masking tape on there. I'll be right back. Alright, I don't have any shrink tape or shrink covers, so we're just going to use a little bit of electrical tape. That should be fine. Shouldn't hurt anything. Alright, so now we need to take the bridge, stick it back down here, but we need to get the wires fished through. There we go. One came out. Fish the other side through. Ooh. Oh, let me try to stick the black one through first because it still has some solder on the end of it. Okay, so did it come through? Yep, it came through. Alright, so that had a little bit of solder on the end of it. No big deal. Try to stick the yellow back through. Get that out. Alright, so now we have black and yellow from the bridge. So we can make sure there's no grit or anything laying here. I'm going to put the bridge back down and pull these through a little bit further. Now this one, it's not going to be able to go through too much further because of the tape. Now this one can come through a little bit further, but I don't think I'm going to take them all that far. Don't really need to go too far there. Alright, so these would be two wires from the front pickup. Alright, so these would be two wires front pickup. Let me see if I can swing this guitar around a little bit here so that we can get a better picture of what's going on. Make sure everybody can see. I had to bring out the lights for this because it's getting dark outside. So, alright, so here's our switch. See if we can get you a little closer for the switch here. I don't know if I'll be able to get you too low here. Bring in the light. Alright, hopefully you can see that a lot better now. Alright, so we have the yellow coming from the front. We got the ground coming from the front. So according to this diagram, both grounds need ground to the volume pot right here. So the volume pot's right here. This is the tone pot. So we need this ground to go here. So let's do that. So we put a little bit of flux across here, a little bit on the tips of the ground, black wires, ground wires, and we'll see if we can do this without too much of an issue. What I probably should do, probably put these two together, maybe wrap that one up like so, because both ground wires are going in the same spot, so I don't see why it should be that big of a deal to have them situated like that. So now this is going to be difficult. One person doing this, it's not the easiest thing to do, especially when you got to hold the solder gun, get the wire there, but also have the wires there, get the solder on there, make sure it don't move. So let's see what we can do. Is that enough? Nope, that came apart. Ay, ay, ay. Wow. Not very easy to do. Okay, let's maybe try soldering these two wires together first. Maybe that'll be better. Do that first. Wow, very difficult. Very difficult. I should probably have maybe alligator clip or maybe a vice grip. This is being very difficult. Maybe I'll try putting some solder on here first and then bringing the wires down to it. That might be better. It's looking better already. Alright, so got some solder on there. Now we got the wires here. If we can get both wires to cooperate and do what I need them to do, we can connect them right here. maybe I need to do one at a time. Let's try this one. Connect that one first. Alright. Got that one connected. Maybe add a little bit more wire. Or solder, sorry. A little more flux maybe. Alright, connect this last ground here. If I can get it to melt, there we go. Alright, this ain't gonna be perfect. Everything's gonna be connected. I mean, it's not the most professional job. But, yeah, it'll do the trick. Alright, so we got the ground wires on. Got that ground wire on. That wire's connected. All we need to do is connect these two yellow wires. If we connect these two yellow wires, we'll be able to play this bad boy. At least I would hope so, anyway. Alright, so I know I probably shouldn't be using a Q-tip for this. Alright, so all the wires are hooked up except for these two yellows. So this is the yellow for the front. We just need to connect it to this. Let me double check. So yes, we need to connect that one to this here. So stick that through. Wrap around maybe just a little bit. And solder that on. Shouldn't need a ton of solder, but I think that'll do. We are connected. Let's connect this one to the rear. Connect this to the rear and we should be good to go. See, how am I going to do this one? Just sit it in there? Let me see if I can bend this tip a little bit. Bend the tip just a little bit so I can stick it through. See if it'll... There we go. Bend it a little bit. I should hold it. Solder it up. Come on now. Maybe I need to put that more level. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it was too crooked. The solder wanted to drip off. So, there we have it. According to the diagram, this is hooked up the way it should be hooked up. So, all we need to do then is hook up a cable and see if we have sound and all that jazz. So let me see if I can organize this a little bit, make it somewhat decent in here, so stuff's not rubbing each other and doing all that crazy nonsense. Make sure everything lays flat. Looks like the wires are kind of getting in the way of the switch here. Okay, so all lays flat. So I'm going to try to plug the amp in, get a plug over here, and see what we got. Alright, got the plug going into the jack. Alright, we're plugged in. Let me turn the amp up a little bit. So I can do a tap test here. So this should be the volume, correct? There we go. Alright, we got volume in the front. We got some tone situation going on. Nice. Alright, let's switch to both pickups. Look at that. So on the front, we should not hear the back, right? Yep, we don't hear the back. Alright, so we're on the back, on the front. We got the volume. That works. Tone. Tone works. Alright, rear pickup. Shouldn't hear much from the front. I don't know why that's even doing that, but as you can hear that, it gets louder, gets softer, gets louder. That's working. Tone works. Voila! Looks like everything works. Alright, so now we can work on getting this stuff, you know, the pick guard and everything strapped or screwed back down. Okay, so got all the soldering done. I gotta put the holes in the pick guard, and the, well, I gotta drill holes for the pick guard, for the control plate, put the knobs on and everything. So we got the pick guard screws here. Pop those open. Get those out. Alright, we're gonna need all these. We shouldn't need all these, of course. So we'll see. We only need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We just got to figure out, okay, what drill bit to use for this. It should be pretty tiny. It's not super big screw here. But before I do that, I'll screw the bridge back down where I had it. I swapped out the bridge screws because the screws that I had in there were in and out a couple times, so they were pretty butchered up. So I didn't want to stick them back in and not be able to get them back out later on, so I had bought extras. That's a good thing. So I was able to use some of the extras here to replace them. So they're brand new, they're not butchered up. It'll just be nicer to get in and out if I ever had to take the thing apart. Hopefully I won't have to do that. So yeah, we just need to keep working here and get everything buttoned up. So I got to drill some holes, put some screws in, put some knobs on, put the strings on, put the string tree on, screw that in, do all that, and yeah, we're well on our way to having a playing Telecaster here. I'm excited. Tell you what, for the most part, this build has gone very, very well. Never have done anything to this detail with a guitar before, so I'd say so far so good. I'm liking it. It's turning out nice. I like the body. Alright, so we got the bridge back on. Good to go there. So now we'll just do some drilling for the, I guess I need to get the, alright, so yeah, we also had to put on the jack plate, screw that in as well. So let's get the screws out of here for control plate. Maybe I'll start with that first since, well, I should probably start with lining everything back up. Maybe start with the actual pickguard. So, push this back down, get everything lined up where I want it. So it looks good to me. All that looks pretty good. So let's see, where do I want to put the first? Where do I want to drill it in and put the first screw in? How about up in this corner? We'll go to that corner. And we'll go here next. I hate that when I'm trying to line things up and this stuff doesn't. That's not exactly where I wanted it to go. Actually, that should work out fine. Yeah, let's start with that screw there. So I'm probably gonna need the smallest one I got. Smallest drill bit I got. So we don't have to go super deep for these pick. About half of where I got the tape. Here we go with the loud drill again. So let me double check it before I do this. It's gonna be okay where it's at. Is that gonna be okay? It's gonna be fine. Oop. Go ahead. So, is that big enough? That is the question. Can I screw it in, or am I gonna have to? Oh yeah, that should be perfectly fine. Snug it up a little bit. Not too much. Not too hard. Alright, line this control plate back up. Now it looks like that is a little off from where I actually want the hole. So I should probably go with a different one here. Maybe I should actually use a drill bit that's a little bit bigger to center that. Yeah, that sounds like a plan. What size drill bit do I need to get that lined up better? That one looks a little too big. Put the next one down. So whatever will fit in the actual hole here, there we go. That's going to center a lot nicer than that screwdriver. So I would think that would do the trick. A little bit better. Let's give that a whirl. Yep. That looks like it should center in a lot better. Next. Alright, snug, snug, 2 corners. That plate's not going anywhere. So let's do this. Let's do this control plate now. That hole looks a lot bigger than... Alright, so keep that drill bit for that. Sorry if I'm in the way. Alright, so this drill bit looks a lot better size-wise. Give it a couple taps. Now, is the screw any bigger? Screw doesn't look any bigger than the screw for, so let's, yeah, it's centered. Actually looks like the screw was, oh wow. Actually shows that this screw is a little bit longer, which now that I made the hole, that just went down the whole way through. So I'm going to screw this down very gently because I do not want this to strip out on me. Doesn't look like I got it quite centered. But it's not bad. What's weird is these screws actually look, no, they're right. I'll now tighten it down a little bit more. Okay, it's fine. Mark this side. Should be no problem. To mark that, find the center. What's odd is it doesn't seem like it's centering very good. I don't quite understand what's happening. Sorry, the camera's probably shaking. Didn't mean to shake the camera. But you're on the bench with me. Okay. Screw the next one in. All right. Control plate looks good. Oh, screwed down. It's nice, bridges down. I can finish the rest of the holes for the pick guard. I won't let you go through all that. So I'll pause for now, come back. Alright, got everything buttoned up. Pick guard is on, control plate's on, bridge is on. Now I gotta do the side jack here. So let's see how we're gonna do that. Maybe I should have kept my paper towels in here. Maybe we'll use this old shirt. Try and do it. So this needs to go on somehow like so. Oh yeah, we're getting there. So I should probably use another drill bit that fits in the hole here. Next side is down, it looks like, from what we were using again. Okay. What for screws are we going to use for that? I guess I'm going to use, yeah, I should be able to use these ones, these extra ones from the pick guard. That'll work for me. So let's get that done. Let's get that done. So I already marked the first hole here. Let's get that situated. If I can line it up, there we go. shouldn't have to go too super deep. So before I do any other holes, we will screw that first one in. That way it'll be easier to line up all the other ones. We'll have one that's tight. And I chose this more rectangular one here because I like these better. I think they look better, but that's just me. I mean, you can pick whichever one you want, but I like this one. Looks nice. Alright, mark the other holes. This is the right one, right? Looks like the right one. Find the center of the point here. There. Now I'm guessing, I don't know for sure, I'm just hoping this thing doesn't want to turn in there. Because there is no like lock washer. That's the only problem with these tellies. I don't know. I mean, you have a washer here, which looks like a lock washer. But I don't know if it's necessarily should just be on the outside or not, but we're gonna try this, and hopefully it doesn't want to spin too much. That's all I got to say. Maybe as it gets tight, it won't turn so much, and it looks like it's not going to. So I should be able to tighten that up, no problem. Now these screws definitely are not the right type of screws. I should probably have like some type of flat head, not ones where they like V down towards the bottom of the, or towards the top of the head in the back. They should be more flat. So I might have to switch these out or something. Maybe I'll keep them. Maybe it doesn't really matter. Might be just fine the way it is. Just because it sticks out a little bit doesn't mean anything. I don't think there's going to be too much getting caught on it anyways. Alright. So, one more hole there. Alright, this should be it for drilling all the holes and getting everything in, well, except for the string tree, but we'll do that after string it up, put some knobs on it. Actually, I could probably string it up a while. But before I do that, we're gonna say we are done with all the screwing in, pickguard, everything's connected, bridge is connected. jack plate's connected. I just need to snug that up. We're good. So I'll see you on the next one.